Greetings Autobots and welcome back. We're going to be jumping into a reading video tonight, and one that I think will be both entertaining, relaxing. Well, that's three things, it's not exactly both, but I digress. Entertaining, relaxing and informative, because I have with me here the Warhammer 40K Handbook, which I got from a starter set as a gift. Now, I actually have my minis sitting out. They're all still in the sprues. I need to get paints in order. I need to order some extra bits and bobs before I'm ready to paint them. But I might film I'm going to paint my Terminator, or my Captain in Terminator armor, this fella here. I'm going to paint him in my free time, but maybe on video I'll do, I don't know, a Terminator or an Infernus Marine, just to show my process. So without any further rigmarole, let's just get started. Let's see, it'll just be a bit difficult. Welcome to Warhammer 40,000. Welcome, warrior, to the world's greatest hobby. Whether you're a veteran of the 41st millennium, a returning soldier, or a new recruit looking to try tabletop wargaming, this set will let you experience the thrill of playing Warhammer 40K. Build your army and wage war across a rich universe filled with incredible stories. Warhammer 40K is a hobby in which players collect armies of miniatures and battle opponents in an exciting tabletop wargame. There are a range of factions you can collect and play, such as the mighty Space Marines and the sinister Tyranid Swarm. Warhammer has fans across the world, and everyone enjoys Warhammer in their own way. Perhaps you'll enjoy hand building and customizing a vast army of miniatures and pitting them against your friends in tactical battles. Maybe you'll want to master painting and transform each of your models into an individual work of art. Perhaps you'll use your army of miniatures to recreate epic battles from Warhammer 40K's rich history, or to forge narrative campaigns of your own creation. How you enjoy Warhammer 40K is up to you. You can engage with as much of it as you like. This set lets you try the Warhammer hobby for yourself with 2 armies and introductory rules for playing battles. All you need to do is turn the page. So we just have a little intro page here. Let me see a photo here. 2 folks playing. Looks to be a match between Space Marines and Tyranids. This set will teach you to fight tactical battles on your tabletop between a Space Marine strike force and the Tyranid Swarm. Oh, I figured we should look at the contents first, because this book contains this little introduction, how to build your models, lore about the Space Marines and Tyranids, and how to play. I'll probably read a good chunk of the book tonight, or maybe I'll read the entire thing in one go, who knows. If the video gets enough attention, I'll probably do more Warhammer book readings. I actually have a Horus Rising, so if anyone's interested in seeing that read, I've got it sitting. A universe at war. It is the 41st millennium. Humanity stands alone in a galaxy of horrors, beset on every side by alien warlords and infernal powers. The Imperium of Man is a vast and warlike empire that spans 1,000,000 worlds. But after thousands of years of galactic domination, it is crumbling. Humanity itself is on the brink of annihilation. For 10 millennia, the galaxy has been torn apart by war. Battles rage from the towering spires of the Imperium's hive cities to the ruined sprawls of long-forgotten alien kingdoms to hellish worlds ruled or ruined by natural disaster or demonic incursion. Hope, enlightenment, and scientific progress have been forgotten. To live in the 41st millennium is to be consumed entirely by a bitter and bloody war for survival that lasts from birth to death. Humanity faces nigh unimaginable horrors every day. Whole planets are obliterated by alien races who see humans as upstart invaders in a galaxy that is rightly theirs. Meanwhile, the power-hungry and weak-willed alike hear whispered promises of glory coming from beyond the veil of reality. Those who dare listen to these whispers sow corruption within the Imperium, and they use dark sorcery to weaken the very fabric of the universe. Every day, war rages on a scale never before seen in human history. Battleships the size of cities stalk the dark void of space. dueling tentacled leviathans with energy lances and macro cannons. On the ground, armies of millions make landfall, the very earth trembling beneath their marching feet. At the heart of battle, warlords clash, the outcome of duels deciding the fate of billions, for in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. We have a really cool picture here. It almost looks like something out of Dead Space. A space marine battles to the heart of a tyrannid infestation, seeking to destroy it from within. Yeah, I won't get too deep into it right now, but if you don't know what the tyrannids are like, they are bloody horrifying. An invading force of tyrannids darken the skies. Only the space marines stand a chance of holding them back. These tyrannids, they don't just invade in squads of hundreds or thousands, they invade trillions. They're designed to conquer entire planets and destroy them, consuming their biomass and leaving nothing left. Humanity's survival depends upon the war-hungry Imperium of Man, founded 10 millennia ago by the Emperor, a mysterious psychic warlord of incredible power. The Imperium claims the entire galaxy as its own. The Emperor was betrayed and almost slain in the Imperium's early history, and he is now little more than a withered corpse kept alive by technology and the ritual sacrifice of lesser psychers. So, for context, after the defeat of the Emperor at the hands, well, he didn't really get defeated, so to speak. Neither, in my mind, neither side really won. The Emperor and Horus Lupercal, his most favourite son, engaged in a fight to the death, where the Emperor ultimately triumphed, but not after sustaining grievous injuries that interred him within his golden throne, a life support machine that's designed to keep him alive, but requires the sacrifice of 1,000 psychers a day just to keep him going. In the Emperor's place, the Imperium is ruled by zealous fanatics. They wage an endless crusade against the alien, the heretic, and the mutant, for it is believed that the only path to survival for humanity is the annihilation of all else. Few can match the size and strength of the Imperium's armies, from the rumbling armoured columns of the Astra Militarum to the cybernetic legions of the Adeptus Mechanicus. Above all these forces stand the Space Marines. They are worshipped as demigods by the Imperium's citizens and feared by mankind's enemies, for they are genetically enhanced super soldiers who know no fear. Through bioalchemy and incredible technology, Space Marines are transformed into warriors, stronger, faster, and more ruthless than even the greatest human soldiers. While their numbers are few, a mere handful of Space Marines in the right place at the right time can change the outcome of a system-spanning war. It is by their might and fearlessness that humanity's worst enemies are kept at bay. However, as new horrors arise in the 41st millennium, even the Space Marines have met their match. The Imperium is beset by the Tyrannid Swarm, a vast, incomprehensible hive species that devours all in its path. They do not The Tyrannids are biological horrors who exist only to feed. They do not negotiate, they do not take prisoners, and they do not seek to build an empire of their own. Any world they come across is consumed, its population digested and turned into raw biomass from which the Tyrannids can breed more of their kind. Already countless worlds have been turned into lifeless husks. For each that is lost, the Tyrannid swarm grows larger. In response, the Imperium has decided to shift to a direct attack on the Tyrannids. Crusade fleets of thousands of ships travel across the stars. Their goal is to tear the heart out of the Tyrannid swarm. Success will mean mankind's survival. Failure means certain doom. How to build using Warhammer build guides. Build guides show you how to transform your models from an array of plastic pieces into beautiful Citadel miniatures. The key below will help you follow the build guides. Guild guides, bit of a spell mistake, sloppy. The build guides in this book, as well as future guides. Key to symbols, push fit. These parts can be pushed together. Tools required. You will need tools to assemble these parts. No glue. Do not glue parts when you see this symbol. Future build guides. Variant assembly. If you see the variant assembly symbol, which are these two little cogs, it means the model you are building can be built in more than one way, representing a different unit or loadout. Each different color represents a different variant assembly. So here we have examples, some Space Marines with, I think that's a Starry Chainsword, Bolter, Power Fist, Bandolier of Grenades. You have a heavier bolter, one being reloaded, and then we have one with a chains or a regular sword. So a lot of it does come down to what you want as well. There's a bit of agency in that regard. Choice of parts. Many Citadel miniature kits let you choose how to customize your models, allowing you to put your own personal flair on your collection. When you see the choice of parts symbol, this one here that looks like 3 shields, you can choose which option to assemble your model with, or which additional extras from the kit you'd like to add to your model, such as grenades, extra armor plates, or variant heads. It's all down to what you want. Ultimately, I like to make my Marines a little bit personal to me. I'll give them sort of different details. I'll try to make a group of them similar, but give them their own little flair. So we have here, for example, you can use either an unarmored head or just a regular helmet. Attach different kinds of pauldrons, shield pieces. I'm not too familiar with what those ones, they're not exactly shields, they're more so heraldry for decoration. Build to play. You can start playing before you've finished building all of your models. Check out the guide below to see which miniatures you need to build in order to play the training scenarios and the mission. Training scenario 1, you'll need a Psychophage and a Captain in Terminator armor. You'll only need these 2 models for training scenario 1, so you can start playing as soon as they're built. Training scenario 2, Terminator Squad and Termagants plus Ripper Swarm. Training scenario 2 requires 4 Terminator models and 20 Termagants, as well as the models you have built for training scenario 1. You don't need to build the Ripper Swarms until it's time to play through training scenario 3. Training scenario 3, Infernus Squad, Von Ryan's Leapers. The Infernus Squad was the set I painted for my first Marines. It's a set I hold in high regard. To play training scenario 3, you will need to build at least 3 of your Infernus Marines and all of the Von Ryan's Leapers, as well as the Terminator's Teleport Homer. No relation to the TV father of the same name. Mission Total Warfare. The Tyranid Prime. We have him here. Tyranid Prime. The Tyranid Prime is the last model to build in preparation for the final mission. You will also need to build any models from other units that you haven't built already. Once these have been assembled, you are ready for war. I would love to do a video where it's just my entire process of making and painting a figure, now that I think about it. How to build Citadel miniatures. Follow these guides to build your Tyranids and Space Marines. Some of the plastic frames, known as sprues, will have some spare parts left on them after you are finished building the models. Using clippers. Hold the clippers like so. To use them, squeeze gently with your fingers and thumb until the blades meet. Where to clip? Clip as close to the component as possible. Take care not to accidentally clip off any parts of the model. Just saying, if that ever happened to me, I would probably scream. Line up parts. Carefully line up the components where you want to attach, making sure that the correct pegs connect with the correct holes. Push together. Push the pegs into the holes by applying gentle pressure to both components. Try to get as tight and close a fit as possible. Rule of thumb is as long as it's sitting flush, that's you good to go. So we have here the Psychophage. These parts, it is push fit, tools required to snip them off, and no glue. 1A. Line up every peg and ensure the tongue is in place before you push the body halves together. 1B. Clip out and attach each part one by one to avoid confusing the different legs. That's another thing I got stuck with. I clipped out all of my miniatures at once from my Infernus Marine squad, and it was a bit of a ball ache to get them all organised. Clipper safety. Keep your fingers away from the blades and hinge on the clippers to avoid injury. If you need help, ask an adult to help you clip your models or supervise you while you do so. Is this book insinuating I'm not an adult? I'm on to you, Games Workshop. Let's just get a better view. Do not clip these scenery pieces off the sarcophage's claws. They will help anchor it to the base. We have here an example of what it will look like. Psychoclastic Torrent. The sarcophage shoots soul-searing ash out of its abdomen. Ooh, that's a nasty looking bug. I've probably killed a couple of them in my time playing Space Marine 2. And here we have the model I'm actually in the process of making. Captain in Terminator armor. Make sure the pieces are lined up as seen above before you continue. See, all the pieces on the sprues actually have numbers attached to them, so it's always good to follow the instructions first. Attach the arms. We have a little thing here with the way the sword works. There's a little exclamation mark. You want to put the arm in first and then the pauldron with the heraldry to tap it in. Add the arm with the storm bolter and the other pauldron with the crux terminatus on it. That's that little skull symbol there. Apply gentle pressure and be patient when fitting smaller parts like the head and the feet. Make sure to line the captain up on his base correctly. Now, ideally, the way you want to line it up is so that it's centered. And if you look at the base itself, there's actually molds for the feet to go. And there you have your finished Captain in Terminator armor model. Next up is the Terminator squad. Let's see, can I zoom out a wee bit? Actually, oh my goodness, yes I can. That makes things so much easier. We have a sergeant, the different pieces. Very interesting the way the legs plug in. Quite odd, though I'm really looking forward to painting these ones in particular. You can just skip these since they're just basic build tutorials. If I recall correctly. Well, we can read this wee bit here. So this is what all your models should look like once they're all built. When you have built every model in this set, you should have every model shown below, a swarm of Tyranids and a mighty force of Space Marines. Check the picture below when you're finished to see if you've built all the models in the set. A little thing there that kind of looks like a grenade. I'm not sure what that is, but I've got I love all the big minis especially. Not really miniatures, they're more so mega minis. I don't know. Here we go. Here's some lore for you guys. Space Marines stand defiant in the face of their foes. Neither fear nor enemy fire will halt their advance. Space Marines. The Space Marines are mankind's greatest defenders, enhanced by genecraft, hardened by endless battle, and equipped with mankind's best technology. They are among the greatest fighting forces the galaxy has ever seen. The Space Marines know no fear, only fury. For 10,000 years, the Space Marines have stood as the defenders of the Imperium and the bane of its enemies. They have transcended mere humanity. Genetic engineering has turned each Space Marine into a demigod, capable of punching through metal, sprinting at incredible speeds, and shrugging off wounds that would slay a lesser human. Such raw strength is augmented by the weapons and war gear of the Space Marines. A Space Marine's armaments are instruments of holy wrath. They include the bolter, a rifle that fires explosive shells, and the chainsword, a savage weapon that tears flesh and armor with ease. Space Marines march to battle clad in power armor. This master-forged plating further enhances the strength and speed of the wearer, yet a Space Marine's greatest weapon is his determination. No sacrifice made in the name of humanity is too great. The ultimate strike force. Every Space Marine force is guarded or guided by a single principle: to destroy the enemy as quickly as possible, whether attacking with stealthy infiltrators, brutal melee specialists, or armoured columns. Space Marines claim victory through rapid and overwhelming power. Enemies are left reeling, their command structure decimated, and the front line crushed in a matter of minutes. I can't wait to actually get my minis built together and paint them and have some matches with them. Captain in Terminator armor. A Space Marine captain is a master of war in all of its forms. These warriors are often veterans of dozens of years of warfare. They have experienced the very worst the galaxy has to offer and have come out stronger. A Space Marine captain leads from the front, even as he cuts down enemies with hails of precision fire or clashes blades with alien tyrants. A captain coordinates his forces. His tactical skill is as peerless as his strength. Often acting on instinct alone, he sets up punishing feints, devastating counterattacks, and shattering charges. Many Space Marine captains go to battle clad in Terminator armor, a variant of power armor that incorporates heavy plating and energy fields that allow the wearer to shrug off even anti-tank weapons. Armored as such, a captain is nigh unstoppable. We have a really cool photo here. I'll just zoom that in for a wee bit for you. That's what I want my mini to look like, or at least as close to that as possible. Just a lot of really cool details. I'm especially excited to try out those transfers on the Heraldry, the little shield parts on his chest with the, what do you call them, purity seals. Battle honors. Space Marines wear their heraldry proudly. Artisans decorate the power armor of each Space Marine with symbols and honors, and most Space Marines wear the symbol of their chapter on their left shoulder, so their enemies may know who has come to destroy them. Space Marines also wear squad markings that allow their captain to quickly identify his forces in the heat of battle. Some Space Marines also display special battle honours on their armour, which represent a particularly impressive deeds or participation in a key campaign. A veteran Space Marine can glance at the armour of another and immediately know their battlefield role and greatest achievements. We have the symbol of the Ultramarines, which are these blue Space Marines. Let's see. Command. Space Marine captains have fought in countless campaigns. They wear detailed and elaborate heraldry, detailing their long service history. Crux Terminatus. The Crux Terminatus is one of the highest honours a Space Marine can receive. Only the greatest veterans of a chapter may wear this hallowed symbol in battle. Fire support. Space Marines assigned to fire support units are beloved by their battle brothers for the withering storms of covering fire they provide in combat. Terminators. Terminators are elite Space Marines who have proven themselves in battle time and time again. They go to war with the very best arms and armour available to their chapter. These include storm bolters, which cut down enemies in a hail of explosive shells, and power fists, which are huge gauntlets capable of punching through tank armour. Infernus squads. Infernus Marines are fire support specialists armed with deadly flamethrowers called pyre blasters. They are deadly at close quarters, repelling enemies with jets of searing promethium. Infernus Marines excel in the cramped corridors of starships and amid urban ruins, where there can be no escape from their burning wrath. Oh, now this one I was looking forward to read in particular. 1,000 chapters. Every Space Marine owes allegiance to a chapter, which is an independent warrior brotherhood with its own culture and ways of war. There are many chapters of Space Marines spread across the Imperium. Each is a self-contained army responsible for recruiting, arming, and deploying their superhuman warriors. Each chapter contains hundreds of Space Marines, plus countless acolytes, artisans, and support staff. Their bases of operations vary as much as the chapters themselves. The Blood Angels govern an entire planet using its harsh conditions as grounds for training and recruitment. The Ultramarines, meanwhile, claim an entire subsector of their own, while the Imperial Fists garrison a colossal fortress ship large enough to house the entire chapter. No two chapters are alike. Each possesses a rich culture derived from warrior traditions drawn from across the Imperium's many worlds. These ancient customs are combined with incredible technology and devastating tactics to ensure every chapter is a unique and lethal fighting force. Ultramarines. The Ultramarines are more than just warriors. They are scholars and tacticians who have turned war into an art and a science. Every bolter round, every hammering fist, and every tank-melting las beam is placed with precision and forethought. The Ultramarines take pride in being prepared for any mission. They make heavy use of specialised fire support units, such as the flamer-wielding Inferno squads and plasma-spewing Hellblasters. Blood Angels. The Blood Angels are noble and courageous warriors, but darkness gnaws at their hearts. When battle begins, they descend to the field on jump packs like a host of avenging angels. Once they have closed on the foe, the Blood Angels hack and slash through their lines with revving chainswords and gleaming power swords. In battle, few Blood Angels can resist their true nature. They fight with berserk frenzy. Some even drink the blood of their foes. White Scars. The White Scars are fierce warriors who strike like lightning. They have brought the ancient traditions of their world to battlefields across the galaxy, riding down enemies from the backs of bikes and speeders as hordes of horse riders would have in humanity's past. Can I just say as well, I actually really like the White Scars. I'm looking at that red, and like the red and white is just such a sick colour combination. I might actually start painting those guys too. Because I do have my Black Templars, they're my babies. I love my Black Templars, and I love the Space Marines as they were the first models I painted. But it's like, I want to collect all different kinds of armies. I want to sample them, so to speak. So let's see, White Scars often take to battle in lightweight and stealthy Phobos armour. They launch devastating ambushes, waiting until the last second before falling upon the foe with a fury of the storm. Imperial Fists. The Imperial Fists are stubborn masters of siege warfare. In defence, they are unyielding, their lines of bolter-armed intercessors forming a living wall none may breach. On attack, the Imperial Fists are relentless. First, they bombard their enemy with heavy artillery before sending in well-armoured aggressors and siege drill-wielding centurions. They grind through enemy fortifications, fighting corridor by corridor until no enemy remains. Iron Hands. The Iron Hands are masters of machinery. They are calculating, ruthless warriors who use cybernetics to enhance their already incredible strength. The Iron Hands are famed for their use of armoured vehicles, from hovering gladiator tanks to columns of grinding land raiders. The highest honour for an Iron Hand Space Marine is to be interred in a dreadnought, a mechanised shell that allows a critically wounded Space Marine to fight on for centuries. Now, unfortunately, this book doesn't actually include the other Space Marine chapters, like the Salamanders and the Black Templars. So that kind of sucks. But I'm going to leave this video here, and we'll continue on with another reading episode where we pick up on the Tyranids. I hope you all enjoyed this reading video. It was a bit impromptu, and I know I've been doing a lot of variety content other than Transformers, but I have something special. I do have something in the pipeline. So in case you're thinking, when's the next Transformers video? What's it going to be? I'll just, do you know what? May as well reveal it now. We're going to be taking a look at SS-86 Leader Class Megatron. Let me just move that off to the side there. So I hope you all look forward to that when that eventually comes out. But that's all I wanted to say, and I hope you all enjoyed this reading video. I had a lot of fun making it. It's good to just sit and read something for a change. Instead of, I don't know, just boring yourself by doing the exact same kinds of videos over and over. It's fun to just throw a wrench in the works and spice things up. So leave a comment down below. Tell me more about what you think of Warhammer, what you thought of this video, and I especially would love to know what your armies are. As I've said before, my army is Black Templars, though I do like Space Marines. Space Marines were the faction that I sort of dipped my toes into the whole painting and miniature thing, but Black Templars, lore-wise, are my favourites. So, who knows, maybe someday I'll find a book about the Black Templars, and I'll be able to read it out for you guys. I've yapped on about long enough. So this is Autobot ASMR, signing off for the night. Autobots, transform and roll out to bed. Smite the enemies of the Emperor.